Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with Star Wars The Black Series, Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary Publishing Program, Jaxxon. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, we've got some comic artwork, but not classic Marvel comic artwork. Then on the front, we've got Star Wars Adventures, which is, I'm guessing, where this artwork comes from. And Jaxxon, and we got Lando Calrissian back there, and lots of animal monster thingies. So, Lucasfilm Limited 50th Anniversary Jaxxon. There is the assortment number if you need it. Warning! Don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Ages 4 and up. Hasbro print. On the bottom, more Star Wars Adventures artwork. On this side, it says Jaxxon. And you can see my box has a cut in it right there. And then there's some artwork of Jaxxon. Star Wars The Black Series. I did pick this up at Ollie's, so... And then here is some more of that comic artwork. And then on the back, we've got Lucasfilm Limited 50th Anniversary. We've got the timeline for Star Wars stuff. Commemorate the first 50 years of Lucasfilm with figures inspired by Star Wars books and comics. And then there it is again in some other languages. Includes figure and 2 accessories. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small, fine legalese made in China print. Disney barcode. Symbols I'm not going to learn, and Hasbro print. And that, my friends, does it for a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at the accessories. And he comes with 2 blaster pistols, and I do believe they're exactly the same. So nice molded details. They are very Star Wars looking. Could be reused from somewhere. In fact, this whole thing, except for maybe the head, is probably reused from somewhere. But don't ask me where, because I don't know. So here's the second one again. Very nice molded details. Now let's take a look at Jaxxon himself. And I have to say, the head sculpt looks very nice. Nice fur details in there, and perhaps even a little bit of a wash going on. I do believe so. And then the eyes, teeth, and this area around the mouth are some paint apps, and they look very nice. Even though I do believe this is pre-inkjet, I could be wrong though. So then he's got this overlay piece on him right here. It's got a paint app right here. Nothing else going on it. It's got these flaps that look like after a while, if you flex them up too much, they're going to break off. It is glued here in the front. I don't think it's glued in the back. Yeah, not in the back, but it is glued in the front. Nice molded details here on the suit, and it does have some textural details there in the pants. And we've got some stuff going on, paint apps right here. And he's got a paint app on his belt and the little rivets here. It's got some nice holsters. They're free ranging, I guess you could call it. And then there's a buckle or paint on the buckle on the back here, and then a rivet here, two here and two here. He's got some pouches and stuff. These look like possibly Luke Skywalker legs of some kind. I could be wrong though. Usually I am. Well, let's take a look at his articulation real quick. He looks up that high, and he is on a ball and hinge. So he could probably actually get a little more than that, but this piece is kind of in the way. So he looks up that high. He can look down that low. He's a rabbit, but he's got chicken neck. He's got waggle waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, 360 degrees of rotation. And he can raise his arm up that high, which is really good. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivels around 360 degrees and gives you slightly better than 90 degrees worth of bend. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge. And the other side has an up and down hinge. There's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet. And it's on a dumbbell, I think. So he gets some hula there, not a whole lot. He can lean left and right a little bit. He leans back that far and crunches forward just slightly. Also, he does have rotation there. Is it a full 360? Yes, it is. It's very difficult to get that 360 though. It's very tight here on the sides. At the hips, he can give you that much of the splits, which isn't great for a rabbit. But he can kick forward approximately 90 degrees and back about one full length of his own step. So cut here at the upper thigh, 360 degrees worth of rotation there. Double hinged, pinned knee. It gives you that much bend, so, you know, lots of movement there. Or range, rather. At the ankle, tilts down that far, and that's a lot of range, too. And then up just slightly. And then he does have forward-facing pin for rocker. And as far as his weapons go, he can either hold them in his hands or they do store in his holsters. So storage is always good. And there you have it, my friends. There is a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have Star Wars The Black Series, Star Wars Adventures, Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary Publishing Program, Jaxxon, with Star Wars The Black Series, Return of the Jedi, General Lando Calrissian, Star Wars The Black Series, A New Hope, Chewbacca, and Star Wars The Black Series, A New Hope, Han Solo. For our last set of comparisons, here we have Star Wars The Black Series, Star Wars Adventures, Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary Publishing Program, Jaxxon, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee, from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander, from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Star Wars The Black Series, Star Wars Adventures, Lucasfilm 50th Anniversary Publishing Program, Jaxxon, I have to say, I vaguely remember this guy from the Marvel comics, but he was in it very, very little that I remember. But I've only read through those once, all the way through, so it could be that. But I don't remember him popping up, but maybe one or two issues. And you know, I mean, for his brief appearances there, this figure is okay. But I'm also, you know, this figure is also a few years out now, or we're a few years out from this figure, and you know, some stuff has changed and gotten better. But for the time this guy was made, you know, I think it's a pretty decent figure. I wouldn't say, you know, I did not buy this when it was first out, and in fact, I only bought 2 of those publishing program figures, and surprisingly, Darth Maul was not one of them. Part of the reason being he was very difficult to find, and once I got to looking at the pictures, I decided I didn't want it anyway, because it was that same, the episode 1 from the legs down, or from the waist down, and then, so not very good stuff going on there. So I passed on that one, and I got the Princess Leia and I cannot remember his name, the stormtrooper with the lightsaber. So those were the 2 other ones that I picked up. This makes the 3rd one out of that publishing program. And I don't know, if I find that Luke Skywalker for the right price, I might pick that one up as well. But if I pick that one up, then I've got to pick the Mara Jade one up. And I'm waiting. I think they can do better for Mara Jade. So I'm going to wait on that one. But as far as this figure goes, I do not know what is new and what is reuse on this. The head, of course, is new. The lower part of the leg might be from a Luke Skywalker. The rest of it might be from an X-Wing pilot. And then, you know, he's got those gloves and hands could have come from anywhere. The belt, the gun belt might be new, and the chest armor overlay piece might be new as well. Of course, as the head, because they've done no other Rabbit characters in the Black Series. But, you know, I think this figure is okay, and you know, he's nice for a background figure. I don't see him featuring prominently in my display. Of course, my display is just figures standing up vanilla posed at the moment, so there is that as well. But, you know, I think this guy's alright. He's not the greatest figure. He's not the worst figure. And I found him at Ollie's. That's where I picked it up at. So I guess that's full disclosure. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.